満ちた顔しやがったな。でも今は絶望だ。3秒数えてやる。
Number 20, Corpse Party, Tortured Souls. Packing an entire RPG into 4 OVA episodes always meant the content here was going to be squashed and compacted, and the anime took that chance to pack as much gore into that insanely tight runtime. After being transported to a school infested with ghosts, the majority of the cast find themselves butchered and bludgeoned in the most gruesome of ways. It's essentially a carnival of guts, and if that's what you're looking for in a horror anime, have at it. Just know that's all you're gonna get here. Number 19, King's Game: The Animation. There's certainly a method when it comes to these game of death / battle royale anime, especially when they want to highlight the ugliness of normal people when put into life or death situations. King's Game falls flat on its face by making everyone too unlikable, whilst pushing the most extreme challenges right from the get-go. It's what you would expect: murder, assault, decapitation. It goes all in on these purely for shock factor, and the result is just an unpleasant watching experience all around. Number 18, Happy Sugar Life. Deep down, there's a solid thriller here. A high school girl who has kidnapped and fallen in love with a kid and seeks to create a paradise for themselves, and will kill anyone who gets in the way. The premise is all kind of messed up, but the foundation for all manner of psychological hijinks is here. And then it gets pretty stupid. Honestly, it seems like the entire cast are secretly psychopaths. The boss likes to defile attractive lads. The aunt is a sadomasochist who is also a hoarder. The kid's secret brother, who was abused beyond comprehension, is now a homeless person on a vengeance spree. It never ends. Number 17, Gleipnir. We give this series full credit for its fight scenes being so slick and well choreographed, but unfortunately, that seems to be the best thing going for it. The rest of the time, you're watching some poor yet uninteresting high schooler get constantly blackmailed into helping a sociopathic yandere in her hunt for her sister, while forcing him to transform into a monster, which she can graphically slip inside to use him like a mecha. Maybe if Claire wasn't such a toxic partner in crime, this could have been something great. For now, it's a collection of decent fights weaved together with a whole lot of gaslighting. Number 16, Juuni Taisen. A battle royale featuring assassins who represent the 12 zodiac animals. Sounds like a winning combination for some Fate-style fun.
The ox, the sheep, the chicken, the dog. Looks like she's waiting to pounce. That would be our old friend, the tiger.
Well, this series tried to lean too much into the darkness of its characters and forgot to have fun with its own premise.
You're a brave little bunny, but bravery still isn't enough to be...
Most of the time, the show does away with battles for character introspection, dealing with the trauma and darkness of each fighter. Except none of these characters are really that interesting, and we don't really spend enough time with them to care or even understand them before they get killed off. The whole thing unfortunately reeks of wasted potential.
You mean like this?
Number 15, Angels of Death. The original game may be beloved, but its adaptation somewhat missed the mark when it comes to the creepiness factor.
今は絶望だ。3秒数えてやる。
It becomes blatantly apparent very quickly that this was based on an RPG Maker game, given the story beats, obstacles, and layouts. But where the anime really misses the mark is that its characters are way too over the top.
だからレイチェル、その目を僕にちょうだい。
Isaac doesn't so much inspire fear as he does come across as a cosplayer with a murder fetish. And even as they kill their way through each floor, we're not so consumed with dread as we are just going through the motions. Number 14, Arifureta. From commonplace to world's strongest. Look, we won't deny we get a kick out of watching this series for all its faults. You've got the biggest edgelord in the world going around with magical guns, taking vengeance on those who wronged him, while building up a harem of humanoid monster girls in the process. It's just every now and then it takes itself a bit too seriously. Hajime needs to lighten the hell up. After all, he's living his best life, got love interests up the wazoo, and if anyone crosses him, he's got magical Gatling guns on standby. Number 13, Magical Girl Spec-ops Asuka. Dark magical girl anime are a dime a dozen these days, so for one to stand out, it either has to push the envelope, get creative with its premise, or implement tropes you'd normally not expect. Guess what this one did? Combining busty anime girls with fleeting scenes of PTSD, along with some unexpectedly graphic scenes, Asuka doesn't so much come across as hardcore as it does Madoka Magica's immature and try-hard younger sister. We're all down for magical girls who can 360 no-scope, but maybe next time slow down on the sexualized torture.
わかった。解放しちゃう。
Number 12, School Days. The majority of this anime is nothing more than an exercise in frustration as we watch one guy sleep his way through the rest of the cast with disastrous emotional consequences for the players involved.
私に子供ができた途端、今度は私を捨てるの？
And then the finale came along and unironically turned it into one of the most entertaining WTF conclusions in the medium. After cheating on one of his lovers one too many times, Makoto is stabbed to death. Only for his ex to kill his killer, retrieve her head, and then have the two of them sail off together. It is bonkers. And we can't help but enjoy it, if only for how it packs so much grimdark into one episode, and finally seeing Makoto pay for his ruinous nature, of course. Number 11, Redo of Healer. No explanation should be needed for this.
悪いな。こいつは触れなくても解約のヒールが使えるんだ。
It's one of those anime that pushes the boundary of decent taste to such an extent you're left wondering, how the hell is this not a hentai? After being abused and drugged, one guy decides to seek his revenge by using magic to brainwash his former tormentors and turn them into his collective harem.
ほら、チンチン。
Yeah, bad stuff runs amok here. It's so obvious in its controversial setup that you can't help but look at it as an overly edgy schlockfest best suited for the hub.
俺の全てを奪った女。俺が地獄を味わった元凶。復讐の標的。
どうされました？
Number 10, DS irae. We can't believe we have to say this, but in anime, there's a fine art when it comes to implementing the remnants of the Third Reich.
おいおい頼むぜサクサク行こうやしらける反応すんじゃねえ
If used appropriately, it can add an extra dimension of terror to the antagonists. If not, then it just comes across as a desperate attempt to appear gritty. If that wasn't bleak enough, our protagonist is a loner who inherits a deadly set of abilities made for slicing apart ancient evil Germans. The only thing it's missing is a frenemy that our lead character has complex feelings towards. Oh wait, he has one of those too. Number 9, Magical Girl Sight. Wow. Just wow. This anime wants to be so edgy that it somehow ended up passing into the realm of unintentional hilarity.
なすべきことは決まっていた。復讐だけが。
You have a perfectly ordinary, if quiet girl, who isn't only abused at home by her brother because reasons, but she's bullied relentlessly at school.
そんな。
Not just your regular standard bullying either, more like the almost get maimed with a switchblade kind of bullying. Keep in mind, this is all before her cat gets murdered and she finds herself thrown into a magical girl deathmatch. Subtlety truly has no place here.
お前なんて、お前なんて、お前なんて、お前なんて、全身の骨が逆に曲がっちゃえ!
Number 8, Akame ga Kill.
いいか、あの刀に触れるなよ。
It's known as the anime equivalent to Game of Thrones, but that's not always a good thing.
人の皮をかぶった佐渡家族が邪魔して悪かったな。葬る。
Oh sure, some of the death scenes hit close to home, and it doesn't shy away from showing some truly gruesome fight scenes. Unfortunately, it also tends to get a bit carried away with itself.
新しく来たやつが歩兵たちを次々と投げ払ってます。
バカな。生物である以上毒が効かないわけだ。
Every death is portrayed as the most dramatic thing ever put to animation. The fan service seems over the top at times, and the supposed emotional payoff can seem a tad unwarranted. We're all for seeing more of Best Girl Leona, but there's only so much Seiryu that we can stand.
正義に負けはない。何が何でも悪は滅する。
Number 7, Another.
君のせいだね。
Once again, we see what happens when a horror anime tries to outdo itself with its death scenes. Sure, everyone remembers the harrowing moments when a teacher takes their life, but from there the rest feels like gags. Before long, what's supposed to be a serious anime about a town's accursed past becomes nothing short of slapstick.
その浜口が俺の前を歩いてたんだが一瞬視界が真っ白になってさ同時にすごい音がしたんだ
Impaled by an umbrella, struck by lightning, buried underneath a chandelier, the edge has gone so far off the rails, it somehow ended up becoming comedy gold. Number 6, Violence Jack OVAs.
The fangs of a tiger and an unquenchable appetite for destruction.
Go Nagai loves nothing more than to explore the depravity that lurks inside the hearts of man, something he achieved to great success with works like Devilman.
Holy shit, the bastard's here!
Then you have this little number, which asks the question of how much cannibalism, decapitation, and violence can one anime get away with? The answer? A ludicrous amount. The shock horror factor might work at first, but the OVA manages to wear itself thin by trying to one-up itself with its hardcore material, a gimmick that will have you desensitized before you know it.
Give him hell, Jack! Give him hell!
Number 5, Hell Girl. Adolescence is already a labyrinth of awkwardness and anxiety, one that can lend itself some painfully real storytelling. Teens sending each other to hell via a website? Not so much.
You will never know the joys of heaven. You will be left to wander through a world made of pain and agony for all of eternity.
While this series does tackle heavy issues such as kidnapping and bullying, there are moments when it pushes the envelope just a bit too far.
I hope 5 yen will do.
The entire population, save for the victims, appear to be jerks to absurd degrees, and the reasons for the antagonists having their souls damned can be a little on the lackluster side. A rival baker who stole a recipe? Come on, guys.
Perhaps it is time to die.
Number 4, Deadman Wonderland.
Why won't any of you people listen to me?
We'll admit that starting your anime by having a class of kids get turned into red paste certainly set a tone. It's just a shame that the rest of the series couldn't live up to it. While Carnival Corpse is supposed to be this bloody display of crazy kids fighting to the death, most of them didn't really manage to inspire any fear, and before you know it, the whole thing had just become a generic action show, one that liked to tell its audience how dark it was, as opposed to showing it.
I'm gonna shove that guitar right up your ass!
Number 3, Pupa. Buckets of blood, human experimentation, and just the faintest hint of incestuous cannibalism painted in an erotic manner.
中身飛び出しちゃった。それはあなたも一緒でしょ?
What happens when you put it all together? An anime that likes to think of itself as artistic, when in truth the only thing it has going for itself is that each episode is mercifully short.
大丈夫だ。夢は大事な妹なんだ。
With the outbreak of a virus that turns humans into monsters, Utsutsu tries to protect his sister from the outside world, while also allowing her to devour his flesh to appease the monster inside of her. That's not edgy, that's just vile. Number 2, Blood Sea. Blood Plus may have mired in its own pretentious brand of darkness, but it's got nothing on this little number.
This ends right now, you hear me? Now! I will not let anyone else die!
With the apparent aim of trying to get the biggest kill count in the goriest way possible, the only thing this anime is remembered for is the amount of civilians that get torn apart.
What's wrong with this talisman? It didn't work!
With bland protagonist Saya doing very little to help the situation, what promised to be a gritty take on the blood lore ended up becoming that one anime that featured giant bunnies eating human kebabs. Number 1, Elfen Lead. Don't hate us, Lucy. We think you're a great character, and the amount of bodies you've piled up in your time is very impressive. It's just that everything else around you is trying way too hard to outdo your tragic backstory. While our favourite Diclonius has suffered all manner of trauma throughout her life, including watching a puppy get beaten to death, this anime seemed determined to give every character a chance at misery.
You are a foolish primate.
You're wrong!
Kota's whole family got slaughtered, Mayu was abused at home, and Yuka is pretty determined to play kissing cousins. Now just be careful not to cut yourself on all that edge.
So what the hell are those things sticking out of your head? Careful, sweetheart. The wrong answer might get you killed.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.